If you're using Microsoft Office 365 for your domain, securing your email with DMARC, SPF, and DKIM is essential. In today's video, I'll guide you through the steps to set up DMARC for Office 365 and explain why it's so important. DMARC, SPF, and DKIM are email authentication protocols that prevent email spoofing and phishing by ensuring that only legitimate senders can use your domain. This is equally crucial for businesses using Office 365, where protecting both your internal communications and customer trust is a priority. So let's get started on your Office 365 email authentication setup. For this setup, you would need access to the Microsoft Defender portal and also access to the DNS. So on the Microsoft documentation, you'll be able to see the different scenarios that are covered by SPF. So for example, you can have it be your only sending source, where you would simply have to include this SPF include. Scrolling down, you will see the second scenario, where you would have an existing source or IP address, and you want to add in the SPF include statement. So in this case, this is similar to the case that we have here. So I'll go ahead and copy the full include statement for the SPF for Microsoft, and then paste that into my DNS. Taking the include statement from the Microsoft documentation, I have went ahead and copied it into my TXT value for my SPF record. Once I check that the syntax is correct, I can go ahead and save this record, so that way I will have enabled SPF signing for all my emails. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And once this record is saved, your emails will now become DMARC compatible, as they will be hopefully passing SPF. To publish Microsoft DKIM, if you head over to the Microsoft Defender portal, you'll be able to generate your DKIM records, which are two CNAME selectors in this case, and publish them on the DNS. To get to the correct page, under the home page, you should go to the left side panel, go to Email and Collaboration, and click Policies and Rules. From here, you would have to go to the Threat Policies page, and then head over to find the correct page for DKIM. So once this page loads, you'd have to go to the Email Authentication settings, where you can see the DKIM key up here. So once selected, it will show you all the domains registered under your account. Select the domain that you would like to configure the DKIM keys for. Once that's done, if you have no existing records, and this process has been done before, you can create your DKIM keys. So this will then tell Microsoft to generate the keys for you, and once that's done, you can go ahead and copy them into the DNS in the correct manner to configure DKIM successfully. So there we go. We can see that we need to publish two CNAME selectors with this host name, and this value. So once that's done, we'll be able to then validate this publication by enabling this setup, and that will show us that DKIM has been correctly enabled. For added security, you can also rotate the DKIM keys so that it rotates between Selector 1 and Selector 2 for Microsoft sending sources as an added layer of protection. So let's head on over to the DNS and configure this DKIM key. So on my DNS, I would like to now publish the DKIM key. So the name here will be the selector1._domain key, and the value would be the value that was generated by the Microsoft Vendor portal. So I'll go ahead and copy those over now. With both records now copied in, I will save all the records to add them into my DNS, and then giving it some time to propagate on the DNS, I will then go back to the Defender portal to validate the changes that I just made. Now that I've published both selectors for my Microsoft DKIM, I can go ahead and enable the service. So what this will do, it will authenticate that I have correctly published DKIM for my domain. So now I can see that this is enabled, and as an added layer of security, I will also rotate the DKIM keys. What this does is that it will alternate between Selector 1 and Selector 2 for added security measures. So once that's done loading, we'll have successfully enabled DKIM for my domain. Now that we have configured both SPF and DKIM, we can go ahead and configure DMARC. You can use a DMARC generator to generate the DMARC record. This way you'll be able to then publish a DMARC record with the RUA and RUF tags set to whatever you would like to receive the aggregate and forensic reports. So go ahead and publish one from PowerDMARC and show you an example of what that would look like. Having pasted in the name and value from the DMARC record generator, I can go ahead and publish this record to start enabling my DMARC service. Starting off with the recommended value of p equals none, Once done with source alignment, I can then upgrade the policy to maximum enforcement to fully protect my domain against any potential spoofing attacks. And that's it. You've successfully set up the email authentication protocols for your Office 365 domain, which means you've added a powerful layer of security to your email communications. With this setup, you've made it much harder for cybercriminals to impersonate your domain, protecting both your brand and your recipients from phishing attacks and fraud. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for more helpful content on email authentication and domain security. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.